What's going on, everyone? So, did a video on the reports that came out about CJ McCollum as well as Chris Middleton, both potentially being buyout candidates because the Washington Wizards don't view them as long-term type of players. So, could look to have them be bought out, whether it's this offseason or closer to the trade deadline. We will see. Time will tell. But either guy, I'd be more than happy to bring in, especially on a vet minimum contract, just to add vets, give you some experience, right? Give you some production off the bench. Both guys, when healthy, particularly, not so much with CJ, but more so with Chris Middleton, who I think is the better natural fit. The problem is just health in that regard, if they can stay healthy. But I did a video on Chris Middleton, and again, I think he would be the better fit. However, CJ McCollum wouldn't have a problem with at all. It's in the same mold of like if DeMar DeRozan gets bought out or Bradley Beal when he was bought out, right? Getting a guy that can come in and help with some of your bench scoring in particular. Yes, Lakers need some defense and other things. Lakers were one of the worst bench scoring teams in all of basketball last year. They're one of the worst benches, period, in all of basketball last year, but particularly scoring. I think they were in like the bottom 3, bottom 5. So a guy like CJ McCollum, who, by the way, the last 10 years has been one of 5 players to average 20 plus points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. And last year, he just so happened to average 21.1 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists while shooting 44.4% from the floor. Now, he's a guy, again, that can give you some playmaking, give you some shooting. He can play on ball. He can play off ball. So he'd be very beneficial in several ways, right? A guy that, if Luka gets the night off, you just have that other playmaker, that other guy that can come in and play a role. If Reeves gets the night off, he also could give you kind of the confidence to now go trade Austin Reeves if need be, right? Still don't know if the Lakers would do that, but you could if you needed to, because CJ McCollum can kind of play that, second or third type of playmaker off the bench, and he'd be more willing to play off the bench. He's 33 years old. He'll be 34 in September. Now, again, I know a lot of people, anybody over 30, get all, flustered. No, absolutely not. Again, you need balance. You need youth. You need veterans. And the Lakers are trying to win now. They're not trying to win 5 years from now. They're trying to win right now. And CJ McCollum, if you can bring in a 21-point, 4 rebound, and 4 assist player, and this wasn't like an outlier season. Again, this is a guy, whether he's been the 3rd, 4th option, whatever, he's a guy that's averaging 20 points per game on efficiency. I don't care how old somebody is. Care about, can they be productive out there on the basketball court? Are they guys that can be game-changing, win you a playoff game, help you get through a 48-game season? CJ McCollum is, right? Again, you look at, literally, let's go over the last handful of years. Literally, the last time he didn't score 20 points plus was his first 2 years in the league. Every year since then, so it was actually longer than 10 years, but I think the stat that I saw was 10 years. But literally, he's 21.1 points, 20 rebounds, or 20 points, 21 points, 24 points, 20 points, 22 points. The guy, every year, you can clock him in for 20 points per game on efficiency. This is a guy that, for his career from three-point range, is 40%. 40% from three-point range on 6.4 attempts. Right? Last year was 37.3% on 8.2 attempts. You look at the year before that, 43% on 8.4 attempts. 39% on 7.2 attempts, 39% on 7 attempts. This is a guy that, even on a bad year, he had a shooting slump year and was still 37% from three-point range on 8.2 attempts and 50% from two-point range. That's great. So again, I don't care if somebody's old. You're not looking for him to be one of your top 2 guys in the team. You're looking for him to be a rotation guy, your 7th, 8th, 9th guy that can come in off the bench, give you production, go and give you, 20 points or 15 points or whatever off the bench, right? Because he'd probably be playing a lesser role with the Lakers than he would be on some of these other teams. But again, a guy that can light it up, guy that can, win you games on his own because he's a guy that can just go get you 30 on any given night. A guy that can apply that pressure to these teams. Again, obviously, I would love to have a 22-year-old, right? In a perfect world, a dude Thero gets 8 3-point attempts and shoots 42% from 3 on those 8 attempts and is our best defensive player. And it's we just solved our biggest need in a perfect world. But the reality is any young guys we get, we're going to have to trade for. And in doing so, right, you're going to have to give up assets in order to do that, which is fine. If that right guy, like if you could go do a Herb Jones right now, go do a Herb Jones right now. But guess what? You're probably trading multiple players, probably getting off of multiple things, probably going to open up roster spots in which you need to fill. Right? CJ McCollum is a guy that could fill that void and do it very good, very efficient, very efficient. Guy that I really do think could play a role for this Lakers team and be very impactful. Right? He's a guy that you can slot into either guard position. He's a better three-point. He'd be our best three-point shooting guard right now. And a guy that is more than capable of playing off ball because he's done it his entire career. He's done it off of Damian Lillard. He's done it in, with the Pelicans, playing off of guys like DeJounte Murray and so on and so forth. Right? So he's a guy that is comfortable in that position, in that role, that can kind of, hey, whatever you need from me today, I can do. Sign me up. Right? What you need me to make plays and kind of be more of a playmaker and distributor, absolutely I can do that. You need me to be a guy that just goes out there and gets you buckets and wins you, a game or two on any given night, absolutely he can go do that. Right? He's still averaging nearly a steal a game. He's not known as a defense. He's not a great defensive player, but he's averaging a steal and half a block a game. Right? Basically what he is for his career. He go and give you, he said 4 rebounds, 4 or 5 assists on any given night. He's a guy that could come in, give you, again, he's 24-4 for his career. And he gave you that last year. So if he can come into the Lakers and be that, I'm not necessarily saying 24-4 just because if he can, beautiful. But realistically speaking, probably be playing a lesser role, right? So my guess is that, even if he's, 12-4 off the bench, that's huge, especially if he's shooting on efficiency. He's knocking down shots with regularity. Right? He's winning us a couple games here and there. You're still going to have that random game or two, just every few weeks where he just goes and gives you 20 plus, and you're going to probably win those games because he's your 7th or 8th guy rather than your 1st or 2nd guy that can play off of LeBron, play off of Luka, come in, be dirt cheap because you're talking about a vet minimum contract. If the Lakers can land CJ McCollum, I don't hate it. Is it the biggest need and priority? Absolutely not. Right? But it's a step in the right direction that also, if you want to sign CJ, you'd have to make a trade anyway. So if you, talked about it, if the Lakers know, hey, we're getting CJ McCollum and a Nikola Vucevic off the bench, you don't think the Lakers would go, all right, fine, we'll give you whatever you want for Andrew Wiggins and make that deal. Now you free up the roster spots, bring those 2 guys in, and you're good. Why wouldn't the Lakers do? Absolutely, the Lakers would do that. So, but the thing is if you're the Lakers, you want to ensure, you want to know that they're coming, right? You want to know, okay, if we do this, we're not just doing this to get Andrew Wiggins, we're doing this to get Andrew Wiggins, CJ McCollum, and a Nikola Vucevic, right? Something like that. But getting into his production, getting into what he can bring and provide, right? 56 games played, 56 games started. He's a guy, again, last few years, 56 games last year was on the low end, but he was 66 games the year before, 75 games the year before that. So as long as he's giving you 65 to 70 games, I'm good. But 32.7 minutes per game, 18 field goal attempts per game, 44.4% from the floor, from three-point range. Again, 8.2 attempts, so real volume. That's the key. He's shooting in volume and knocking down those threes in volume. That's huge. I mean, even the last few years, he's been over 8 attempts per game and knocking it down at a very efficient clip. So if he can give you that efficiency, he's going to score. He's probably going to average 15 a night if he can get back to 40% on 8 attempts or whatever, especially playing off of LeBron and Luka. Most of his attempts are going to come from 3-point range. But again, 37.3% from 2-point range on 9.7 attempts, so just under 10 attempts. 51%, shot 53% EFG. Free throw line, he was down last year to 71.7%, so basically 72% on 3.1 attempts, which is not great, not terrible, but it's not great. But he is a career 80% free throw shooter. So was that just kind of an outlier year? Also with the Pelicans were just a mess last year, period. But again, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, half a block, and 21.1 points per game. Again, man, and again, you look across the board. If you just go down the list, I encourage you, go look up CJ McCollum. Go look at just, even just his basic stats and stuff. Just I mean, he's one of the most consistent, lock it in type of players in the entire league. You know, you want a guy that just you can clocks in, gives you 24 and 4 and clocks out. CJ McCollum is one of those guys. And to have somebody like that off the bench in a bench role that you're not looking to be, you know, your top 2 or 3 guys is huge. Right? Like he would now be, I mean, think of every team he's ever been on. He's been, you know, at worst the 3rd guy. Well, now on a team like the Lakers, you'd be looking for him to be 6th, 7th guy, give you some possibilities in trading Austin Reeves if you need be, or at least give you some confidence of like, hey, if we move off Reeves, we need somebody that can kind of fill in that role, fill in that gap. Got CJ McCollum that can do that, you know, for a year or 2 or whatever, however long you need it. So I really like the idea. I think it's something that the Lakers, if he's bought out, should look into. But as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.